Hello students, if you remember in last part we have completed the chapter oscillation. Today we are going to take a next chapter that is nothing but a superposition of the wave. As superposition of the wave is one of the new chapter we are going to consider. Here as in 11th standard we have learned about sound waves, light waves, electromagnetic waves, mechanical waves. So these are the different type of waves that already we have learned. Now here in this chapter we have to consider when two or more waves combine together, how they will behave and how they will superimpose on each other. That mixing of two or more waves that we have to consider under this topic. And apart from this, we have to consider stationary waves in this. So let's start with the first part of this topic, that is nothing but a progressive wave they have mentioned. Above this they have mentioned the introductory part. They have mentioned that on the plain water surface, when we drop a stone on a plain water surface, some waves get created and that get followed toward the edges. That wave get created from that stone and that move to the edges of that particular pot, or we can say dam, or whatever it will be, small pot. The waves move toward the edges. Okay, that waves motion from the point where we have dropped the stone to the edge, that is said to be propagation of wave. Wave move from that point to the edges. And actually wave get moved, particle remains there as it is, they just move up and down, and wave get transferred. Up and down motion of one particle due to neighbor, and finally the energy from the point of source where we have put the stone transfer from that point to the edges. Okay, that type of thing they have mentioned in the introductory part, and they give the name as disturbance. Initially water is silent and plain. When we drop a stone, we disturb it. A disturbance get created, and in terms of disturbance, energy get transferred from one point to other point, that we know, and that we have to consider here. Now the first thing that we have to consider is nothing but what? Progressive wave we have to consider. As its name suggests that it is progressive wave. Progressive wave means what? The wave which continuously progress in certain direction without change of its form. The wave which continually progress or travel in certain direction without change of the form, that wave is said to be progressive wave. Now here in this chapter, what they have mentioned about the progressive wave, same thing, that up and down motion of the particle, that is said to be, it will create the disturbance, and that disturbance is nothing but a progressive wave which will move in certain direction. Let us start with the example. Suppose initially this is water surface, plain water surface, and suppose this is one of the bigger pot we have taken, and this is the plain water surface. Okay, initially this is the water inside the pot. When we drop any stone at here, at this part I have dropped one stone. It may be of any shape. We have drawn the stone. From this part to this part we have dropped the stone. When we drop the stone, the plane surface get disturbed. That means such type of wave get created, and they will travel to the all the edges of. These are both the edges we are going to see. But it comes here also. It comes that side also. If we drop the stone exactly at the center. That just I have taken a photo from upside. Then how can we look it like? Suppose this is a circular part we have taken, circular bucket we have taken, and this is the bucket full of water. Some water was kept here, and when we drop stone here, it will create a wave like this. Circular waves get created, and that waves are moved toward the edges of that pot. And that wave from the top, it look like this. From this view, it moves an up and down type of motion. Now remember, the particle who is here is at the topmost position, highest amplitude. Here the point is at lower than the normal level, no lower than the normal level. So this up motion and this down motion of the particle, it goes up and comes down. This type of up and down motion of the particle due to drop of stone, this energy of stone gained by this particle, they start moving up and down, and they will transfer the energy to neighborer, again neighborer. In this fashion, energy get moved from this point to this edges. Okay, but while doing this, particles are not moving. Particle is not moving from this place to this place. Energy get moved, and that is nothing but the wave which get moved from one point to other point, carries the energy, is said to be progressive wave. Now let's go. We have to consider here first of all the properties of progressive wave we have to consider. Just I will read the properties. If I think there is something to explain, then at the same time I will explain the same property. Let's start with the first property according to your book. Each particle in a medium executes same type of vibrations or motion, we can say. Particle vibrate about their mean position, performing simple harmonic motion. It's common sense. As this particle is here initially, it goes up and comes down. So this up and down motion, this up and down motion is a straight line motion. So we can say particle is performing simple harmonic motion. Next, all vibrating particles of the medium have the same amplitude, same time period and same frequency. All these particles which vibrate with the same time period, same amplitude and same frequency. Okay, that is the second property of progressive wave. Let's go to third. The phase, state of vibration. The phase is said to be state of vibration. The phase changes from one particle to another particle. How the phase get changed? I will draw the same diagram in a little bit magnified view. Suppose I am going to draw the surface of water only. So the surface of water is like this. Okay, this magnified view. Now see, this particle is here, otherwise this particle is here. So there is a phase difference between this particle A and B. Both are not in same phase. There is some phase difference. At the same time, if you consider particle C here, particle C and B at highest amplitude, so these two are said to be in same phase. But as compared to B, C, A is at a downward direction, so its phase is 180 degree out of phase. And here, initial level of the water is represented by dotted line, and this dotted line is said to be mean position. Extreme up position at C and B, at A, extreme lowest position. So particle perform this vibration of different phase. That is the meaning of the third property. Fourth one, no particle remains permanently at rest. Obviously it is. No particle remains at rest. It must start vibrating. No particle remains permanently at rest. Each particle comes to the rest momentarily while at the extreme position of vibration. So after some time, suppose whole energy get transfer, again come to the mean position. So they will come to its at a rest, state of rest after some time, after transferring all the energy. And that is nothing but this. But remember, there never be a permanent at rest. Someone again drop the stone, again they start vibrating. Let's go to next. The particle attain maximum velocity when they passes through the mean position. As we know, in simple pendulum we have seen, simple pendulum goes from this place to this side, extreme position. At the extreme position, velocity is 0, or we can say reverse velocity. It come back at the mean position. So at the mean position, the velocity is maximum. In case of simple pendulum, same thing here. Particle attain the maximum velocity when they passes through the mean position. It goes up. When it comes at the mean, the velocity increases, goes down, velocity decreases. Again it get reverse, again come to the mean position, velocity increases, again at top, velocity decreases. That is the meaning of this. So every term when it crosses the mean position, its velocity increase. That is the meaning of this topic or this particular property. Let's go to first, next one. During the propagation of wave, energy is transferred along the wave. During the propagation of wave, energy transfer along the wave. There is no transfer of matter. Matter in the sense, particles are not moving. Particles moves up and down, but energy get transferred. Same thing you can say, suppose we have dropped the stone at the center and near to that we have put one wooden block. Just drop a stone near to wooden block. When we drop the stone, wooden block never goes to edge. It just moves up and down, up and down. But the wave get travel from this stone place to the edges in terms of vibration. So there is no transfer of matter, but there is a transfer of energy. That is this point. Let's go to next. The wave propagate through a medium. The wave propagate means transfer to the medium with a certain velocity. This velocity depend on properties of medium. It's common sense. As if you change the liquid, suppose we have taken water. Okay, water has less viscous as compared to other we can consider. So when we drop a stone, its velocity depends on the water. Instead of water, we have replaced water by oil. Suppose do the same thing, drop the same stone, you can see it cannot vibrate that much. So it is depend on velocity of the wave, depend on the nature of the medium. It may be liquid, solid or gases. Let's go to next. Progressive wave are of two types, transverse wave and the longitudinal wave. Progressive waves are of two types. So there are two types of progressive wave. They are said to be, one is said to be transverse wave. So I will write it here. So this one is said to be transverse wave, other is said to be longitudinal wave. Transverse wave, one of the best example of transverse wave is light wave, or we can say electromagnetic wave. Light or electromagnetic wave is one of the best example for this transverse wave. Longitudinal wave, if you remember in 11th standard we have learned, example is what? Sound wave. Yes, sound wave is the example of longitudinal wave. So what is transverse wave? So in transverse wave, particle vibrate perpendicular to direction of propagation, then that type of wave are said to be transverse. Suppose wave is moving in this direction. This is direction of propagation. I will represent it by DOP. Direction of propagation of wave. Direction of propagation of wave. Wave is moving in this direction. And if the particle from this mean position goes up and comes down, such type of motion is there. In this fashion, particle move up and down, then we can say they vibrate perpendicular to direction of propagation. That type of waves are said to be transverse wave. And this transverse wave can be represented by the two parameters, such type of wave. One is a positive part, other is a negative part. This single wave is said to be single transverse wave. This positive part is said to be crest. It is said to be crest. The negative part is said to be tuff. So remember, in transverse wave, positive part is said to be crest, negative part is said to be tuff. So energy transfer from one place to other place in terms of formation of crest and tuff, continuously and alternately they get formed and energy get transferred. Okay, particles are vibrating perpendicular to direction of propagation. Now let's go toward this. What is meant by longitudinal wave? Longitudinal wave is nothing but a wave in which there is no crest and tuff part. It has some compression, the crowding of the particles together, that is said to be compression. This is said to be compression. All the waves, all the particles of the medium come closer to each other, crowded, that is said to be compression. So this is said to be compression. So compressions get formed in longitudinal wave. At another time, there is another thing where particles are well separated. See, these are well separated, but these are crowded. This well separated is said to be rarefaction. Rarefaction. So wave transfer from one place to other place in the form of compression and rarefaction in case of longitudinal wave. And here what get occurred, suppose we consider this as a direction of propagation of wave. Direction of propagation of wave. In case of transverse wave, particle vibrate perpendicular. But in this case of longitudinal wave, they vibrate like this. They vibrate parallel to direction of propagation and they will form alternatively compression and rarefaction. This type of progressive wave are said to be longitudinal wave. Let's go further. Both transverse as well as longitudinal wave can propagate through solids. Can propagate through solids. Some of them can propagate through, some of them get propagated solid, liquid, gases. Some of them can propagate through the medium as well as if there is no medium. As transverse wave is an electromagnetic wave. This electromagnetic wave does not require any material medium for their propagation. If there is a medium, still they get travel. If there is no medium, or say suppose there is vacuum, still this light wave or electromagnetic wave get travel. Means transverse wave does not require material medium for their propagation. While longitudinal wave always required a material medium, it may be solid, liquid or gas. But this longitudinal wave cannot travel to the vacuum. So let's go further. Apart from this, the next topic, they have just given one equation, mathematical equation they have given. What they have told there, they just find out displacement of the wave from the mean position. What is the displacement? So remember, it is better to remember two equations in this. If along positive x-axis wave is moving, progressive wave is moving along positive x-axis, maybe longitudinal, maybe transverse wave. If it is moving along positive x-axis, in that case, the wave equation or displacement of that wave equation, displacement in terms of amplitude, can be represented by y is a function of x, along x-axis it is moving with time, is equal to this equation. All of you have to remember, a sine of kx minus omega t. This is along positive x-axis. This is the equation for displacement or amplitude of progressive wave. Along negative x-axis, it is same, a sine of kx plus omega t. This is along positive x-axis. This is along negative x-axis. That these two equations all of you have to remember. Apart from, you must know value of k is equal to 2 pi by lambda. As they have mentioned in the book, value of k is 2 pi by lambda. So this is equation 6.2, this is equation 6.3. These two equations you must remember. When particle move from one place to other place, how the displacement would be there, change in displacement or amplitude. This is change in amplitude that was represented by these two equations. Just directly remember these two equations. Don't read the remaining part of the book, it is little bit more confusing. That means that is not that much confusion, but still if you try to read it once, you didn't understand anything. If you read the same topic 3 to 4 times, then you might understand the things. But it is not essential to understand it now. Apart from this, they have just given equation 6.1 also. So for the sake of understanding, we will stop here. So just remember this equation. It is better to remember this equation directly. Let's go further. So these things we have seen. What is progressive wave? The properties of progressive wave that we have learned. Now let's go reflection of wave. How the waves get reflected. So let's see reflection. Reflections of wave. As we know that light get reflected, same way the wave get reflected. So that reflection we have to see. So reflection of one, in your book they have taken 3 examples. The first example they have taken as, so just look at a book. If you have the book, you can see it is better if you put a book in front of you. When when you are watching my video, it is better to put a book in front of your face near to your mobile. Now let's see the first diagram they have given. There are 2 strings. They are tied to rigid support, and that string name is AB. Suppose the wave is moving from A to B. B is a rigid support. Now see, so suppose the wave is moving from A to B. This is rigid support here, and here the 2 waves that we want to represent. Such type of one wave they have given, and here there is a crest. Then this goes like this. Okay. Second thing, so this is wave is going toward this A to B, toward the wall. Okay. Second thing, wave is coming from B. Okay. Wave is coming from B. How it behave like, or how would be the nature of it, that we have to consider. How is the nature of that wave? So this is B, this is A. It is going toward B, it is coming from B. So that is said to be reflection of wave. What does it mean? Suppose we have taken one wire or rope. One end of the rope is fixed to the wall. By the nail you can fix it. And other end, put it in your hand. Move the rope up and down. Just move for some time, move it up and down. It will create such type of wave. And this wave travel along this toward point B. At a point B, exactly opposite wave, it is positive one, exactly opposite, negative wave get reflected from B. So this is said to be crest incident on this wall, reflected as a turf. That you have to remember. This is reflection of transverse wave, crest reflected as turf. This goes toward crest reflected as a turf. Now remember these 2 points here, this parameter here, there is air as a medium. Air as a medium, and it is said to be rarer medium. Rarer medium. Rarer medium means what? Air particles are there, density is less. So less number of particles, rarer medium. At this other end here, this we have considered this wall. This wall is what? Dense. It is solid as compared to air. So this is said to be denser medium. Denser medium is a medium whose density is more. So that would be denser medium. This would be rarer medium. So we can say when transverse wave travel from air, or we can say rarer medium to denser medium, transverse wave travel from rarer medium to denser medium, it is seen that creased would be reflected as a tuff. That is the first example they have taken. Similarly, they have taken a second example also. If we see the second example, what they have done, they have just used the same thing, little bit modification they have done. So see, now here we have used this as a connected to rigid support or wall. Now in second example, what they have done, they have tied this string, not fixed point, it is not tied to fixed point, it is attached to some ring. Suppose we have created one ring we have taken, we have dropped that ring in this rod. Suppose this rod now, metal rod which is fixed rod. In that we have drawn the two rings. One ring is here, only one ring we have drawn. One ring is here. The end of the string is tied to one ring, suppose. Now in that case, suppose this is the incident wave. Again we have just connected the rope to the ring. Ring is fixed to the rod. Move the rope up and down. It will create a crease. Crease will insert on this. But after, when this crease comes here, this ring moves upward because of this drag. It moves upward. Now instead of emitting tuff here, it will emit the crease of same wave. It will emit the crease of the same type of crease get emitted from B. So this is incident wave. This is a reflected wave. What the change we have done? Only change we have done is what? Here we have connected the end to the ring instead of the direct rigid support fixed point. Instead of fixed point, we have connected it to the moving point, that is said to be rings. Now in this case, if you see below this diagram in your book 6.2, they have given blue line headings. Reflection of wave pulse sent as a creased from denser medium to rarer medium. Now remember, initially we have considered this rarer, this denser, because this is fixed. Now exactly opposite. This denser medium comes here, rarer medium goes here. This is rarer medium, this is denser medium. Now wave is moving from denser to rarer in this case. Wave moving from denser to rarer, creased will be reflected as creased. But when the wave move from rarer to denser, creased will be reflected as tuff. That you have to remember. And tuff get injected, tuff will be reflected as creased. Exactly opposite that things are. So this is second example they have taken. Let's go to third one. They have taken third example. It is very interesting example. What they want to explain by this, such type of rod and that things they have not taken. They have taken simply the string. The two large in dimension, and other is small in dimension. The two strings connected to each other, one is large, other is small in weight, connected to single point. That point of connection is said to be point O. Just you can see the figure 6.3. So what they have done, so this is the first string and it will emit the wave like this, and this is the, suppose I have drawn, this is a little bit larger dimension. Just increase the dimension. So it is suppose larger dimension string. So large dimension thread we have taken, and apart from this, this is connected to another thread whose dimension at a point O, it is connected to another thread whose dimension is less. So this less dimension wire or thread is there. Now see, O is a point of intersection of the P. Suppose this is the first thread P, this second thread Q. They will intersect each other at a point O. So this should be the O. Now let us consider this solid length, or you can say larger dimension string or wire as a denser medium. Let us consider this as a denser medium. At the same time, the lighter one, let us consider this lighter one as a rarer. For sake of understanding, just they have taken such type of two string, large in dimension, denser, small in dimension, rarer. Now see, in the first diagram, they have created a crease in the denser medium. How it will travel to the rarer medium? Okay, denser to rarer we are going. So as we have seen before this, when we travel, just see the figure 6.2, that is the example for this. When wave travel from denser to rarer, crease will be reflected as creased. So this is denser, we are going to the rarer. So in this fashion we are going. So what will occur? This crease would be reflected as a creased. So we can write the same diagram here by plotting the reflection. So this reflection would be same. This would be the point, and this is the point O. This is the point O, and apart from this, we have to consider the large dimension wire you should consider, or string you should consider. So this is the large dimension. So this is nothing but a denser medium. Now what get occurred here? This is incident wave. This is what? Reflected wave. Creased get incident, creased get emitted when we move from denser to rarer. Same another diagram they have taken. Just see the diagram B. Rarer medium, in this case light sting. Rarer medium, in this case light sting. So what will occur in the first case? When light, or we can say the wave move from denser to rarer, if the crease get formed, crease will be reflected as a crease. Okay, but instead of that, opposite thing we get in figure B. What they have shown out of this, the figure B. So this, we are going in this direction now. Suppose we come in opposite direction we are coming. What the wave we get? That we have to draw now. Let's see. So suppose we are coming in opposite direction. So the first larger dimension string remains as it is. This is a point O. Then afterward, what is there? The smaller dimension ring, or that is said to be rarer medium, and it will create a crease like this. So this would be rarer, this would be denser, this would be P, this would be Q. Now see what we are going to take. The wave is coming from Q to P now. Q to P means what? Rarer to denser. Crease would be reflected as tough. Definitely. Just look at the bottom now, what they have done. They have just shown it like this. So it will be reflected as tough, and this wave goes further like here. So this would be the large wave, large sting we can say, and this is large sting. Here it is point of intersection O, here it is P, and here it is Q. And this is a reflected wave like this. A reflected wave. I hope you got this. Once you understand the figure 6.1 and 6.2 from your book, then you can understand this figure 6.3. It is very simple to understand. I hope you can understand this simple thing. When the wave is moving from rarer to denser, first diagram 6.1. When a wave moves from rarer to denser, crease will be reflected as tough. That we have seen here. Crease will be reflected as tough. Okay, when it is moving from rarer to denser, figure 6.1. Figure 6.2, when it is moving from denser to rarer, a ring we have used, denser to rarer, creased will be reflected as creased. So that topic you have to remember. Once you understand this, you can get the third diagram 6.3. Otherwise you can't get that. Okay, this is for transverse wave. In another way, simple part, we can just write one diagram. Just we can write diagram. So here denser medium, rarer medium to denser medium. Wave get travel from rarer medium to denser medium. This is the first case. Second, wave get travel from denser to rarer. We can create a table. We can create one simple table. So rarer to denser means figure 6.1. This is figure 6.1. This is figure 6.2. Okay. Creased would be reflected as tough. Okay. 6.1. Creased would be reflected as tough. What would be the second one? Creased would be reflected as creased. We have considered creased only. Similarly, someone want to consider tough instead of creased. Yes, you can. So what will occur here? Creased will be reflected as a tough, Turf would be reflected as creased. In this case, creased as a creased, turf as a turf. So you can prepare this table. Just remember this table, and this will understand the reflection of creased and turf. As we are taken creased and turf, what does it means? Transverse wave. This is for transverse wave. Okay. When wave move from rarer to denser, these are the condition. Denser to rarer, these are the condition. You have to remember this. Once you understand this, let's go further. Now we have seen the reflection of transverse wave. Now we have to consider the reflection of longitudinal wave. As we know, longitudinal wave, there is no creased and turf. There is what? Compression, crowding, and rarefaction. Well separation. Let's start with these. So let's see the figure 6.4. In this 6.4 figure, the wave is moving from rarer to denser. So this is a wall they have taken. So such type of wall they have taken here. This wall as a denser medium, and this remaining part is nothing but a rarer medium. So the wave move from rarer medium to denser medium. What get occur that we have to see. When the wave move from rarer to denser, initially it consists of well separated regions. Okay, then the crowding, then again well separation. Okay, then again crowding. So this is a compression, rarefaction, compression, rarefaction. Okay, so this compression incident here on denser medium, compression reflected as a compression, and again here it is rarefaction, again here it is a what? Compression, again here it is rarefaction. So this is the incident part, this is a reflected part. So what get occurred? Compression reflected as a compression when the waves are traveling from rarer medium to denser medium. Okay, so I will write down here somewhere one table for here. I can write here rarer medium to denser medium and denser medium to rarer medium. Just initially we have prepared the table, same table we can prepare. So we are moving here rarer to denser, compression as a compression, rarefaction as a rarefaction. This is for longitudinal wave. That is just figure 6.4. This is for figure 6.4. Okay. Next part 6.5 they have taken figure 6.5. I am not going to draw it now. What exactly they have done in 6.5? The rarefaction, that wave is moving from what? Rarer medium, denser to rarer now. We have seen the rarer to denser. Now we have to consider denser to rarer. When the wave travels from denser medium to rarer medium, what can occur? Rarefaction can be reflected as compression. Just look at that diagram. So we can write here rarefaction result into compression. Okay, compression result into rarefaction. That's it. These are the conditions, and that is nothing but a condition for reflection of longitudinal wave. Initially we have seen the condition for reflection of transverse wave. If you combine this table with the initial table, this is for condition for longitudinal wave. Okay, you can combine this condition with a transverse wave. So what? How can we consider? So see, you can create such type of table. So type. So we get longitudinal wave. Write down the transverse wave. Write down the conditions here. So you can write the condition here. What we get? Rarer to denser. If we move, the creased would be reflected as a turf. Turf would be reflected as a creased. Here, creased as a creased, turf as a turf. So these are the conditions for reflection of transverse and longitudinal wave in a single table. If you remember this table, you can remember all the conditions. So it is better to prepare such a table on a single blank page and put that page near to this topic. So no need to read all the things. You just see that particular chart, you can understand how the transverse and longitudinal wave get reflected. So next topic of our syllabus is what? Superposition of wave. Now superposition of wave. what exactly superposition of wave is. Now if you remember, two or more wave combined together come at the same point. Here at the same point, two waves are coming. And what will occur with the resultant wave, single wave coming? How it will form the single wave? That was studied by this. That is said to be principle of superposition of wave, or simply the superposition of wave. Or sometimes it is said to be principle of superposition of wave. What get occurred in this case? Just they have taken one example. Suppose I want to hear the music. I love to hear the music. How can you remove the other sound? See, somebody is speaking near to me. Still I want to hear the music only. So it is better you can use headphone. Whoever near to you is speaking, you can't hear that. You can hear the music. So what we have done? We have removed the distortions. So that example they have taken here in your book, first paragraph. Now the second paragraph, what they have done? When the two wave comes at a single point, how they behave, how the resultant displacement get occurred. Let's start with one example. Suppose this is the point P. This is the point P where the two waves are coming. Okay. So suppose this is the first wave coming at point P. It is W1. First wave coming at point P, W1. This is the second wave coming at point P. It is W2. Two waves comes at a point P. Now they recombine, or we can say superimpose. Now what this means? There is a principle says that suppose this wave W1 move the particle or displace the particle here. This particle get displaced by the W1 wave by an amount x1 suppose. Then P comes somewhere here. New position P dash. Now the second wave displace the particle P from this P dash to the new position P double dash by a distance x2. So this would be the x2 displacement produced by the wave W2, x1 displacement produced by the wave W1. So what is the resultant displacement from P to P dash? This total thing. Common sense, it is x1 plus x2, and that was represented by x. Resultant displacement produced by the both wave coming at the same point, and this is said to be principle of superposition of wave. When two or more wave comes arrive at the same point simultaneously at the same time, they will produce their own displacement independent of other. Let us consider the first displacement x1 due to wave W1 alone. Don't take W2 here. Just take first for W1. Take second for W2, it is x2. Don't consider W1 now. So x1 is a displacement produced by the wave W1 separately. x2 is a displacement produced by the wave W2 separately, independently. Now when we combine the two displacement, resultant displacement is x1 plus x2, and this is said to be principle of superposition of wave. Just look at in your book on page number 134, right hand side, the black portion they have mentioned. When two or more wave traveling through a medium passes through the common point, single point or common point, each wave produces its own displacement at that point. Each wave, W1 as a x1, W2 as a x2, each wave produces its own displacement at that point, independent of the presence of the other wave. Don't assume the other wave is present, just find out individually. The resultant displacement at this point is sum of the displacement produced by the vector sum of the displacement due to two waves individually they have produced. So x equal to x1 plus x2. So this is nothing but a principle of superposition of wave. I hope you got this principle. Now what we have to see on the next page, the blue part is there. Headphone during recording might be you are well known about. Suppose if you sing some song, I know that if you don't have the beautiful voice, still try to sing the song and record that song in your mobile. After recording your song, try your best to sing a bad song and just record it. After some time, just play that recording of your own voice. You can hear that the recorded voice has different quality than actual voice. You may think that recorded voice is nice. Same thing, when the songs are recorded, at that time they have special type of microphone and headphones. headphones, just suppose I am singer, suppose I am not, suppose I am singer, I am just using headphones here and just singing some song here in the mic. Then I can hear what I can hear. I can hear the pure voice of myself. Remaining thing, they get filtered, or just anti-waves, opposite wave get travel and they will cancel distortions. I can hear the pure voice. And that type of things were done by some instruments, and that was done by headphone when the recording of sound was done. Same thing they have mentioned the blue part. It is for your better understanding. So just try to understand it. Read it once and try to understand. It's very simple. Now let's go further. Now the further thing they have mentioned, they have used the figure 6.6. In this figure 6.6, what they have done, they try to explain you if the two waves arrive at the same point, they are in same phase, what will occur? They try to explain here. And when the two waves coming at the same point, they are out of phase, then what will occur? In the next diagram 6.7 they have discussed it. Now let's go with the first one. The first diagram 6.6. The two waves coming toward each other, which are in same phase, what will occur here? Just see. So suppose they have drawn like this, such type of first wave, and they have taken such type of second wave. Both are positive, or we can say they are in same phase. This is moving toward this point O, suppose. This is moving toward this point, suppose this. Both are moving toward a single point, two waves. When these waves come at point O, they are not mentioned in a book. Suppose at a point O, when they come, how it behave, that you have to see. Just put a diagram from your book in front of you. Then we will see from that diagram how it work or how it will show that type of things that we have to see. Okay. So see, in this diagram, what we have to show, I have to show you. Just look at this diagram from your book. So I have not drawn it because it will take a lot of time. So just you have to just see this diagram. So at time t equal to 0 here, this wave is moving toward here at the center. This also moving toward here. This figure A for 0 second, B for 1 second, and so on. So these are different figure. For each figure is nothing but for time period of 1 second. Now let's see. When they come closer, initially they are just far away. In figure A, here in this figure A, this distance is large, so they are away. In figure B, they come closer. In figure C, they intercept, means just touches to each other. In figure D, if you see the dotted lines are the waves basically. So the first wave is represented by this dotted line, second was represented by this, and displacement is this and this. Now the total displacement here from this point to this point, which is sum of the displacement produced by one peak plus other peak. So x1 plus another one is x2. So total displacement is x. So this is superposition of two wave get occurred at 3 seconds in figure D. After that, what will occur? This wave coming from this side goes to this side. This wave come to this side. Just see. This wave comes here. This wave comes here. They move in opposite direction and they get separated again. So this is nothing but at 5 seconds, 4 seconds time, this figure E, they start separating. 5 seconds they get separated. 6 seconds they get separated. Well, such type of thing is said to be superposition of wave, where the two wave combined together as shown in figure D here, combined together, and resultant displacement is the sum of the displacement produced by each wave. So here resultant displacement get increased, or we can say resultant amplitude get increased, and that's why such type of superposition of wave is said to be constructive interference. Such type of superposition of wave is said to be construct. It will construct the new part. See, these two waves separately combine here, it will create a bigger part. So bigger part means what? They construct the big thing, and that type of thing is said to be constructive interference. Let's go to next topic of your same topic. Next one here. If the two waves are coming toward each other, this is from this side, this is from this side, coming toward each other, they are out of phase. Out of phase means what? When this is positive, this is negative. They come closer. So figure A for 0 second, figure B for 1 second, they come close to each other. Figure C for 2 seconds, they combine this positive due to this wave. This negative dotted line, this is to this region. If both have same amplitude, plus minus cancelled out. What we get for this at this place? Figure C for 2 seconds. The two positive and negative part cancelled out. So resultant amplitude is 0. And as the resultant amplitude here it is 0, this type of interference of these two waves is said to be destructive interference. Initial peaks get destroyed here, it becomes plane. Just see the solid line. It is a plane, come as 0. Means what? Resultant amplitude decreases. That was done in destructive interference. Then this goes to this side, this goes to this side. It comes. Just here, separate. This goes here, this goes here. This superposition of your second example, when the two waves are out of phase, here destructive interference get occurred. When they are in phase, here constructive interference get occurred. I hope that you got this constructive and destructive interference from your book. And it is very easy to understand this. So if I draw the same diagram, it is quite complicated to you to understand this topic. So I have shown you the same in the same diagram. Now let's go to the next topic. That is nothing but amplitude of resultant wave produced due to superposition of two waves. As we have seen, amplitude of resultant wave produced due to superposition of two waves. The resultant wave produced after mixing two or more than two waves combined together, they will form a new wave. What is the amplitude of that new wave produced? That we have to find out, and that new wave produced is said to be resultant wave. After mixing of two waves, these two waves are moving, they get mixed, and resultant third wave get produced. What is the amplitude of this third wave? That we have to consider under this topic. For that, let us consider the two wave having different displacement. Consider two waves having same time period, different displacement and different amplitudes. And they was represented by two equations. As first one is y1 equal to a sine of omega t. Here it is a1 because amplitudes are different. Two waves, y1 first displacement represented by a1 as the amplitude is different, sine omega t. It is at a 0 it will start, so it is phi equal to 0. Second, as y2 equal to a2 sine of omega t plus phi. This second wave which is going to superimpose. This is the first, this is second one. So this is for W1 as we have seen before. This is for W2. Now the two waves combine, resultant wave produce. What is the amplitude of that resultant wave produced? That we have to find out. According to, just we have seen the superposition of principle, x equal to x1 plus x2. This is along x-axis. If the waves are traveling along x-axis, this would be the formula. Resultant displacement is x1 plus x2. But in our case, the wave is traveling along y-axis. So what we get here? Y equal to here y1 plus here it is y2. Because amplitude is changing along y-axis. Okay, that's why we have taken y1 plus y2. Just put the value of y1 and y2. Rewrite. You can write a1 sine of omega t plus a2 sine of omega t plus phi. Just I have written these two formulas just for your sake of understanding what I have shown. I have shown you, just put the value of y1 and y2 here, you get the value of y as this. As we know this sine a plus b, just put that formula here, use the trigonometric formula, rewrite. So you can write this as a1 sine of omega t, this as it is, plus a2, then you have to use the formula sine a plus b, sine a cos b, so a2 into sine omega t into cos phi plus this a2 as it is, a2 into cos a sine b, cos of omega t into sine of phi. So we have applied this formula, we get this. Now if you see sine omega t here and here, it is common. So combine them together and take it common. So you can write here a1 from this plus a2 cos phi, a1 plus a2 cos phi, outside the bracket it is sine of omega t plus a2 cos omega t into sine of phi. Cos omega t into sine of phi, that we have written. Now just put here this bracketed term. Suppose I have put this as suppose for sake of understanding, if you put that term as a cos theta, if you put this as a cos of theta, if you put instead of this a cos theta, okay, at the same time a2 sin alpha, this a2 into sin alpha, this together put it as a cos theta, put this as a cos theta. Reflection is coming little bit, just I will write it here. These two together, this a2 sin alpha, this together put it as a sin theta, a sin theta. Rewrite the same equation. What you can write? Y equal to this a cos theta into sin omega t plus a sin theta into cos of omega t. Sin a is common, you can take a common, so here what we get? Okay, so let's see what we get here. I will write the remaining part. So see, cos theta sin omega t, we can sin omega t cos theta plus cos omega t into sin theta. So it is formula for sin a plus b, simple. So use that formula. You can write here a sin of omega t plus theta, that is y equal to a sin omega t plus theta. That type of equation we get, a sin omega t plus theta, y equal to, that we get the equations. Now here, if we compare this equation, the particles are performing simple harmonic motion. This form of this equation is similar to this one and this one. Only here it is phi, here it is the new phase theta. Instead of phi here, theta is there. So here this particle perform a linear simple harmonic motion. This type of derivation we have derived in oscillation also. Now just do one thing. As we have put this equal to this, a cos theta equal to a1 plus a2 cos phi. Suppose this as a equation 1. And this sin theta, a2 sin phi equal to a sin theta, equation 2. Suppose that are the equation 1 and 2. Just do one thing. Square the equation 1 and square the equation 2 and add them together. What will occur? I will add it to this side. So we get to this side. So square equation 1. Square this and add to the 2. So what we get? A square cos square theta plus a square sin square theta. 1 and 2 na. A square cos square theta plus a square sin square theta, that is left hand side, is equal to what? Just I will write this little bit here because the equation is bigger, so I can write it here. So a square sin square theta plus a square cos square theta equal to, this is left hand side. Write down the right hand side. What we can write? Right hand side we are squaring, so it is a1 plus a2 cos phi cos theta, a1 plus a2 cos phi square plus cos omega t square, cos square omega t you can say. So if we find out is a plus b whole square, a square plus b square plus twice ab, just you can write this. Take this a square common here, sin square theta plus cos square theta is 1, so it is a square equal to, a is our amplitude. What we get here? a1 square plus a square plus twice ab plus b square, phi plus a2 square, this is the square of this bracket, plus cos square omega t as it is we get, cos square omega t as it is we get, that I have written here. Just square them and add them together, so we get such type of equation. Something get, just see the example from your book, equation 6.7. what they have done? a1 plus a2 cos phi whole square plus a2 square sine square phi, a2 square sine square phi, that part is remaining in our case, a2 square sine square phi. So this is not this, it is a2 square sine square phi. Why it is a2 square sine square phi? Just look at here, equation 2. So what we had, a sine phi equal to a2 sine phi. So a sine theta square equal to a2 square sine square phi. That's why you should write here a2 square. Here it should be a2 square sine square phi. a2 square sine square phi. So this would be the things that we get. So here a1 square plus twice a1 a2 plus a2 square, here should be a2 square into cos square phi. Now see this term, a2 square is common. If we take it common, what we get here? a2 square is common. So what we get here? Sin square phi plus cos square phi is 1. You can write this equation as a1 square plus twice a1 a2 cos of phi plus a2 square, that is amplitude square is. If you want to find the amplitude, it would be what? A equal to square root of this thing. A equal to square root of this thing. Now write down here, this is the equation for amplitude that we want. Amplitude of resultant wave produced due to superposition. So that wave has this amplitude. Now here there are three cases they have mentioned, and already that type of cases we have discussed in oscillation chapter. Let's start with the first case. If the two waves are coming together, coming for superposition, two waves are coming. If they are in phase, phi equal to 0. Phi equal to 0, then they are in phase. So cos of 0 is what? 1. What is A equal to? A1 square plus twice A1 A2. This is 1. Twice A1 A2 plus A2 square. So square root of A1 plus A2 whole square. Outside the square root it is A1 plus A2. So this is amplitude. If A1 is equal to A2 equal to A, what we get? It is twice A. Same equation we have derived in oscillation also. So this is the equation we get. So when it is the equation for first case. Second case, when phi is, second special case, phi is 180 degrees or it is pi radian. 180 degree pi radian. What get occur? Cos of pi is 0. If it is 0, this whole term is 0. If this whole term is 0, A equal to what? Square root of A1 square plus A2 square. Okay, A1 square plus A2 square. If both are same, A1 equal to A2 equal to A, it is what? Square root of 2 A square. Outside bracket it is square root of 2A. This also, if you remember, sorry, one thing get wrong here. This is not equation. So phi equal to 180, we have taken 180 na. It is 0. When it is 0, sin 90 it is 0. It is 180 means pi. What is cos of pi? Minus 1. It is minus 1. If you put it here, here the minus sign. So here it is A1 plus A2. Here it comes to be A equal to A1 minus A2. If both are same, A1 equal to A2 equal to A, this would be 0. This also we have considered in that oscillation chapter. Now let's go further. Apart from this, if you understand this topic, let's go further. It's very simple. What we have done, we'll revise once again. Consider the two waves having a different displacements y1, y2 and different amplitude a1, a2 with some phase change. Here omega t, here it is omega t plus phi. Resultant displacement is y1 plus y2. Add these two, put the values. Here sin omega t plus phi. Use the formula for this. Solve it. You can write like this. Take sin omega t common. In the bracket we get a1 plus a2 cos phi sin omega t plus a2 cos omega t into sin phi. A2 into sin phi, put it as sin theta, a sin theta, and this a1 plus a2 cos phi as a cos theta. You can write the same as y equal to a cos theta for this sin omega t as it is, and this is for a sin theta cos omega t. After that, this is formula sin A cos B plus cos A sin B. This is formula for sin A plus B. So we get this equation y equal to A sin omega t plus theta. So this is an equation for resultant wave after superposition of two wave. Resultant wave can be represented by this displacement. Now our aim is to find this amplitude. So how can we find out? Square the equation 1, A cos theta equal to this, square it, and square the equation 2, A sin theta equal to A2 sin phi, add them. If we square and add them, we get this type of equation. A square sin square theta plus A square cos square theta. A square is common, sin square plus cos square is 1, so we get A square. Here A1 plus A2 cos phi whole bracket square plus A2 square sin square phi. A plus B square, A square plus B square plus twice AB. This is the formula for this. So A1 square plus twice A1 A2 cos phi plus A2 square cos square phi plus A2 square sin square phi as it is. A2 is common, sin square plus cos square phi is 1, so we get A2 square. So this is A square, so A is square root of A1 square plus twice A1 A2 cos phi plus A2 square. If you remember, in oscillation we get here phi 1 minus phi 2. Cos of phi 1 minus phi 2. Here it is only cos phi. Okay, why it is phi 1 minus phi 2? Because here we have considered is phi 1 and phi 2. That's why. Let's go. The two condition, when phi is 0, the two waves are in phase. If they are in phase, cos of 0 is 1. So A square plus twice A1 A2 plus A2 square is what? Square root of A1 plus A2 square. Outside the square root it is what? A1 plus A2. If A1 equal to A2 equal to A plus A, it becomes twice A. Same way, if phi is 180 degree or pi radian, cos pi is minus 1. So it is outside the square root A1 minus A2. If both are same, A minus A, it is 0. This part already we have finished. So this is very simple part already we have finished in that chapter also, in oscillation also. So I hope that it is good to understand you. If you didn't understand, just see the video twice, 2 times, 3 times and revise the same from the book. You get this. Now let's go further. For the same topic, they have represent further the intensities. There is one mathematical equation. The intensity of wave is directly proportional to square of amplitude. Intensity of wave is directly proportional to square of amplitude. Now there are two type of intensity, maximum and minimum. So suppose maximum intensity is I max, minimum intensity is I minimum. Just before I had drawn. If phi is 0, intensity is maximum A1 plus A2. If both are same, it is A1 plus A2. If both are same, what is that value? Twice A. Just we have drawn now. Same way. I max equal to, you can write then, I max is directly proportional to, or we can write according to book, directly proportional to A max square. When amplitude is maximum, you get intensity is maximum, and amplitude is maximum. And when it is maximum, when the two waves are in phase. So it is nothing but a A1 plus A2 you get. If both are same, twice A we have find out. So it is square. So if A1 equal to A2 equal to A plus A, 2A whole square. So 2 square is 4, A square is A square. So it is 4A square. That was not mentioned in your book. You should prepare that also. Let's go next. Intensity is minimum. This is maximum when if theta or if phi equal to 0. If phi equal to pi degree or pi radian or 180 degrees. In that case, I minimum is what? A1 minus A2 whole square. Why it is minimum? If both are same, it would be 0. Okay, that's why it is intensity minimum, intensity maximum. So maximum intensity will occur when both the waves, superimposing waves, are in phase. If both the superimposing waves are out of phase, or there is phase difference of 180 degree or pi radian, the waves are said to be minimum intensity wave. So after that, there are two examples they have just solved here. Try to understand this example. If you have the problem, you can contact. Now next topic is a stationary waves. What are the stationary waves? How they get formed? What is the mathematical equation that we will see in the next period. So next video I will explain you. I will start the stationary waves. I hope you understand this. So read it first. Sorry, watch the video first. While watching the video, you should put a textbook in front of you, so you can just see the same topic from the textbook also if you have any problem, especially the figures in superposition of wave, reflection of wave, especially the figures. So please take care. We'll meet soon. I will create the next video also. Thank you.